smacznego.
Okay.
I, I will not, make you repeat that. But let me tell you about pierogi. Pierogi is a very, very, very Polish dish. So we eat them for Christmas. We eat them. It is also a comfort food. It is very, very homey. And wherever I lived, and I lived in so many different countries, in France, in Germany, in Switzerland, in England, in Norway, uh, I always made pierogi myself and made other people taste them just to share a bit of culture, a bit of Poland, and a bit of who we are. So cabbage and mushroom is the stuffing inside, with with the dough outside and boiled and cooked in the pots.
Here, of course, we just reheated them with a little extra water. Space legs. They're really getting very efficient and working much more efficiently, and they're way less stressed. So that's helpful. And they're getting a lot done. For instance, one of Schuch's experiments is growing microalgae, and they could be used in potentially future space missions as a food supplement. It's got lots of nutrients and things in it. And speaking of food, Tibor's also growing radishes, and he's doing a great job with the radishes and the miniature wheat.
Very heavy in research and technology. We are very loaded with different types of science, from human physiology, psychology, to biotechnology, to physics and engineering. That is where I feel the most comfortable with. But just to mention a couple of experiments, we are working as well in collaboration with India and the European Space Agency on cyanobacteria. These created a big chunk of our atmosphere, our oxygen that we breathe today. I have as well an experiment on microalgae, or on volcanic algae, that created the second two-thirds of the atmosphere that we breathe. So this is the history of our planet, but also the future for us. I was working on nanomaterials that can be future wearable sensors to gather our vitals on our everyday life. And I think the experiment I'm the most proud of as of today, but we still have a lot to do, is we demonstrated the first brain-machine interface in space. So we gathered data from a human brain, and then the machine interpreted this information directly from the brain and could execute certain actions, which is just fantastic. Efficiently and faster. We got to know the International Space Station, so this is a big learning for me. What I am used to is what you see around us. Columbus, the European lab, or other places on the ISS, were, being surrounded by systems, by science. This is what I have been doing my whole life. So I think I had a good start. And now I am trying to do it in the new environment, like pushing boundaries of science forward and having hundreds of people working on these experiments, and including me, who has this privilege to execute them in space. This, allows us to move forward together and much faster, and explore certain directions that on our own we would never think about. On my side, whatever I do, I have new ideas, and I can give an example of a bike that we did here on the station. It's called Stevus. It doesn't have a seat because we don't need it in space. But I was really surprised how my body reacted the first day or the first days, my first bike session, that I was not very performant and I was still adapting. And my second session, already 1 week into the mission, I got much better. Still not the same as on Earth, but I think this is quite normal. But just observing my body is a fascinating. As many as we would like to, but there is this amazing place on the station called Cupola. It's our window back on home, our window on Earth. And I remember the first time I floated to Cupola, I opened my eyes. I was, the view is just fantastic. It's so difficult to describe. So whenever I can, and I don't have so much of this time, but I try to float to Cupola to look back on all of you, on Poland, on home, and on everyone living on this beautiful planet Earth.
A reputation for being the selfie man. He's always got to have selfies of everything, but that's because he's got a built-in selfie stick. He's got very long arms.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a great shot. Oh, that's fantastic.
And I asked him to grab a couple of pictures to because I very much cherish these moments in Cupola. And for me, there is so many surprising things, but how the Earth, how beautifully it looks from Cupola is difficult to describe.
Growing cancer cells and treating them with 2 different types of drugs, and to see if they will be more effective at affecting and stopping the replication of the cancer cells. And we'd had previously on Axiom 2 and 3 some very interesting results. And so this time it's the actual breast tissue from a subject on the ground that we're testing the drugs against. And so I'm very excited about those research results.